Ever wondered how some people make their money work for them instead of working for money? It's a conundrum, isn't it? How do these individuals seem to effortlessly navigate the tumultuous seas of personal finance? Is there a hidden map they're following? A treasure chest of secrets they've unearthed? Or perhaps it's a magic formula? Well, what if we told you that the magic formula might just be something called reverse budgeting? Intriguing, isn't it? Well, the secret might just be reverse budgeting. Reverse budgeting, you say? Sounds fancy, doesn't it? Well, let's break it down a bit. Imagine you've just received your paycheck. It's a good day, right? In traditional budgeting, you'd start by allocating funds to your bills, your groceries, maybe a night out or two. What's left after all that spending is what you tuck away as savings. That's the usual way of doing things. But let's flip that around, shall we? Enter reverse budgeting. As the name suggests, it's the opposite of traditional budgeting. Instead of spending first, you save first. You get your paycheck, and the first thing you do is put aside a chunk of it for savings. The rest, then, is what you use for your expenses. It's about prioritizing future you over present you. Now, why would you want to do that? Well, we all have dreams, right? Maybe you're saving for a house, a dream vacation, or even just a rainy day fund. With reverse budgeting, you're putting those dreams first. You're making sure that you're putting money towards those goals before anything else. And here's the best part. It's not a rigid system. You don't have to save a fixed amount every month. It can be a percentage of your income, a flat dollar amount, or even just whatever you can spare. The point is, you're saving first. You're putting your future ahead of your present. Of course, it's not always easy. It requires discipline and a bit of sacrifice. But imagine reaching your financial goals faster. Imagine having a safety net, knowing that you've got money tucked away. That's the power of reverse budgeting. So let's recap. Reverse budgeting is all about saving first, spending second. It's about prioritizing your financial goals, making sure you're putting money towards them before anything else. It's a simple shift in perspective, but it can make a world of difference. In essence, it's not about how much you spend, but how much you save. Now you might ask, why should I choose reverse budgeting? Well, let's break it down. Reverse budgeting has a unique approach that flips traditional budgeting on its head. Instead of starting with your income and then subtracting expenses, you start with your savings goals. It's like planning a road trip, but instead of just setting off and hoping for the best, you're mapping out your destination first and then planning the journey. One of the main benefits of reverse budgeting is that it ensures savings. You see, with traditional budgeting, savings often become an afterthought. You pay your bills, you buy your groceries, maybe you splurge on a pair of shoes, and then whatever is left over goes into savings, if there's anything left at all. With reverse budgeting, you're saving first, making sure those funds are tucked away before you even start thinking about expenses. Another advantage of this method is the control it gives you over your expenses. By prioritizing savings, you're setting a limit on what you can spend. This encourages thoughtful spending and helps prevent unnecessary purchases. It's like going to the grocery store with a list. You know exactly what you need, so you're less likely to toss random items into your cart. Reverse budgeting also promotes financial independence. By saving first, you're building a financial buffer that can protect you in times of unexpected expenses or income loss. It's like having a safety net ready to catch you when life throws you a curveball. Lastly, reverse budgeting is a goal-oriented approach. Whether you're saving for a down payment on a house, planning a dream vacation, or building an emergency fund, reverse budgeting keeps your goals front and center. It's a strategy that says, here's what I want to achieve, and here's how I'm going to get there. So, reverse budgeting is about setting and achieving your financial goals, not just managing expenses. So, intrigued enough to try reverse budgeting? Here's how you can do it. Let's dive right into it. The first step in reverse budgeting is setting your financial goals. You need to have a clear picture of what you're saving for. It could be a new car, a dream vacation, or even just a rainy day fund. Remember, your goals should be smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Take some time to ponder over what you want to achieve financially and when you want to achieve it by. Next up, you need to determine your income. This includes your salary, any side hustles you might have, and any passive income streams. It's important to be accurate here. You don't want to overestimate your income and find yourself short later on. Once you have your income figured out, it's time for the fun part: saving. This is where reverse budgeting really shines. Instead of saving what's left after expenses, you're going to save first. Allocate a percentage of your income to go directly into your savings. A good rule of thumb is the 50-30-20 rule. 50% of your income goes to necessities, 30% to wants, and 20% to savings. But remember, the key here is flexibility. You know your financial situation best, so adjust these percentages to what works best for you. Now that we've got savings out of the way, let's move on to planning expenses. This is the reverse part of reverse budgeting. Instead of planning expenses and then saving, you're saving first and then planning expenses. Start by listing out all your fixed expenses, things like rent, utilities, and subscriptions. These are non-negotiables. They have to be paid no matter what. Then move on to flexible expenses. These are expenses that can vary from month to month, like groceries, eating out, and entertainment. These are the expenses you have more control over. If you find yourself going over budget, these are the areas you can cut back on. Finally, don't forget to account for unexpected expenses. Life happens, and it's always good to be prepared. Set aside a small portion of your budget for these unexpected costs. This could be anything from a car repair to a sudden medical bill. And there you have it. You've set your financial goals, determined your income, allocated for savings, and planned your expenses. You've taken control of your financial future. But remember, a budget is not set in stone. It's a living, breathing entity that changes as your life circumstances change. Make sure to revisit and revise your budget regularly to ensure it's still serving its purpose. And there you have it, your very own reverse budget plan. Let's do a quick recap, shall we? As we've learned, reverse budgeting is not your typical budgeting method. This approach is all about prioritizing your savings and investments before anything else. In the traditional budgeting method, we usually start with our income and subtract our expenses. Whatever is left goes to savings. But let's face it, most of the time, there's little to nothing left. With reverse budgeting, we flip this concept on its head. We start by setting aside a portion of our income for savings and investments. The remainder then is what we use for our expenses. That's the magic of reverse budgeting. It ensures that we're not just spending wisely, but saving smartly. Throughout our journey into reverse budgeting, we've also learned the step-by-step process of implementing it. It starts with identifying your financial goals, followed by determining the percentage of your income you'd like to save. Then, you allocate the rest of your income to your expenses, ensuring you live within your means. And remember, flexibility is key. Life is unpredictable, and your budget should be able to adapt to changes. So, don't be too hard on yourself if you don't get it right the first time. Practice makes perfect. In essence, reverse budgeting is a powerful tool that can help you achieve your financial goals while still living a comfortable life. Remember, with reverse budgeting, you're not just spending wisely, you're saving smartly. So, are you ready to take control of your finances? It's a question that can change your life. Reverse budgeting isn't just a method, it's a mindset. It's about making a conscious decision to prioritize your financial future. It's about making your money work for you instead of the other way around. We've highlighted the importance of reverse budgeting, how it can help you achieve your financial goals, and even walked you through the process. Now it's your turn. We encourage you to try reverse budgeting. It may seem a little daunting at first, but the reward is worth the effort. You'll be surprised at how quickly you can gain financial independence when you take control of your money. Remember, every financial journey begins with a single step, and that step could be as simple as starting a reverse budget. Take charge, start reverse budgeting, and watch your money work for you. Until next time, stay financially savvy.